Hey, Spiral Seekers, you're tuning into Spiral Emanations. I'm Skye Gracely, broadcasting from dazzling, too sunny Los Angeles, your resident astrology junkie and crystal collector. If you're new here, welcome to the podcast where we dive under the news and surface with secrets.
And I'm Reece, your London line to the depths of the inner worlds. Hermetic practitioner, occasionally damp, eternally curious.
He's modest. Also, his accent's real, we promise.
You'll hear plenty of both, especially on days like this. Skye, what's your weather report?
Literally survival mode. My air conditioner sounds like it's summoning help from the astral plane. Please send shade.
I'll swap you a week of rain. Maybe you can send your succulents on holiday here, if they can stand a little British gloom. Oh.
Deal. Do they make tiny umbrellas? But what really caught my eye this week, all these stories flooding my feed, no pun intended, about neighborhoods in Georgia running out of water. Wells running dry, panic in the heat, and get this, rumors about something old and restless beneath the ground.
We've all seen the articles. Meta's slick new data center is draining aquifers, families are struggling, and the official answers just aren't adding up. So, what's really underneath Newton County? Is this just infrastructure, or is something hidden in that red clay?
Tonight we're peering a little deeper than the headlines. And to guide us, we've got Dr. Cleopas Wren, a hydrologist, water whisperer, and I think the first person I've met who literally carries a sacred spring in a jug.
That's me, Cleo Wren, retired professor, lifelong water listener, part creek, part mountain mutt. And don't worry, I sanitized the jug special for radio tonight.
Legend already. And for those just joining us, don't fret if you're hearing us crystal clear, free of pops, rain, or incantations. That's thanks to Brian Lieberman, our audio engineer extraordinaire. He makes Skye's sunbeam and my drizzle blend together smooth as silk.
Brian, you're the reason my crystals don't rattle in the mix every time I talk. Thank you.
All right, water, warnings, ancient barriers, and a sleeping serpent. Cleo, are you ready to lead us where pipes and legends cross?
Let's get our boots muddy.
Spiral emanations, friends. Keep your bottles close. We're plunging in. All right, let's get everyone up to speed. So, if you haven't had time to scroll, or you're like blessedly offline, here's what went down. Just outside Atlanta, Meta built this absolutely massive data center. And now, whole neighborhoods in Newton County are waking up, turning on the tap, nothing.
Yeah, and we're not talking about a slow trickle or occasional shortage. These are private wells drying up overnight. Folks with generations on the same land suddenly hauling blue water jugs up their steps in the middle of a Georgia scorcher.
Literally whole front yards lined with those big plastic bottles, right? And, some houses aren't close to city water pipes, so it's not like you just call the county and they flip a valve or something. These are families like miles from town, now totally dependent on those deliveries.
Local news and the Water Authority traced this surge in use straight to Meta's new data center. Their computers, cooling towers, drinking up an Olympic pool's worth of water every single day.
Which, okay, I get the tech draws power, but even the experts are stumped by just how fast the springs and wells went dry. Cleo, you got called in as the water person. What did you see that didn't match up with, a normal water crisis?
Did anything about these outages seem off compared to the usual big company, small town story?
Let's just say, I've charted droughts from Asheville to Apalachicola, and I've never seen springs go out like this. It was almost like, well, neighbors started telling me, "Doc, it's too quiet. My dogs won't go near the creek at night." Some folks swore they smelled river mud in their tap water even when the pipes were dry. That's when you know it's not just numbers on a map, it's a living thing that's hurting, or maybe warning.
So like when the old time would say, the serpent's waking up, it's not just a story, there's actually, like a real history behind that?
Oh, there's a story, all right. But it's not just about tall tales, it's about old bargains and what happens when you break them.
And that, listeners, is where our spiral turns a little deeper.
Don't go anywhere. The weird part starts now. So, like, when people talk about these old bargains, are we saying, there's an actual reason why water matters so much? Like, not good for crops, but something else?
It's a bit of both, honey. See, to us, water isn't just practical. It's alive, a running promise. My grandmother, Creekside, used to say, "Water remembers, even when folks forget." In Newton County, That means when a spring dries up out of season or runs backward a day, it's a warning. Old-timers would listen for wells gurgling deep at night. If you ever hear that, pack your flock and watch the moon.
That's more than just local superstition though, isn't it? There's history, a particular event?
Yes. Around 1887, everything went sideways. Folks, creek, black and white, stopped trusting the earth. Cows vanished, rivers turned sour, people dreamed of great coils in the mud. But instead of just praying it away, 5 stepped forward. Inada Yasi, the creek healer, Moses Hargrove, the freedman preacher, Abigail Pierce, the dowser, and 2 more, each with different roots, different tools.
They teamed up? Like ancient Avengers, but with water buckets.
I suppose so. They brought whatever sacred meant to them. River iron, holy water, corncob talismans, and knotted red string. Came together at the main spring, where Meta's facility sits now.
And what did they do, concretely?
They sang and poured and hammered iron discs deep in the earth. Each action carried a bit of their own soul. Abigail gave the last drop. That's why her name's still whispered. After that, springs rushed open everywhere, like the land itself sighed in relief. It was packed and prisoned together. The living water locked the Sha'lanu, the many-eyed sleeper beneath the roots.
So every well and spring, it's actually a kind of shield, and if you drain them, you break the lock?
Exactly. The springs are sentries, not just spigots. As long as they flow, whatever twists below stays chained, dreaming. When they run dry, that dream can spill over.
And in all your travels, Cleo, have you ever seen warning signs as fast as this?
Only once, and it nearly cost me. When the water gets restless, you hear pipes banging like old bones, see frogs flee the creek, taste iron where there should only be cool stone. Sometimes, the land groans for days before people notice. That's what's happening now, and most folks just blame the plumbing.
I mean, I'd probably do that too. But if what you're saying is real, it's more than just wells drying. It's the ground trying to tell us something?
Always. The question is, will we listen before the dream wakes up and demands we pay attention?
And that, friends, is the doorway to our deepest spiral yet.
Yeah, I think I need 2 crystals for this next part.
All right, Cleo, set the scene for us. It's the late 1880s, the land's, heavy with fear. What did that night look like for the 5 wardens?
Picture a Georgia summer thick enough to drink, cicadas ripping the air, every shadow close by the creek. Livestock were vanishing. Folks woke up sweating from dreams of scales and eyes under mud. Nobody trusted what they heard at night. So the 5, the wardens, met in secret, carrying what little certainty they had. River iron hammered into wide discs, mason jars of water drawn from 5 springs, red cords, an old hymn book, a pipe of Cherokee tobacco. Abigail, the dowser, she tied knots as the men hammered, prayers curling off every word.
Wait, wow, secret meeting, all with really different backgrounds?
That's exactly it, child. It wasn't just one magic. It was every piece of understanding they had, fit together. Black and creek and white hands, all with the same shaking between the knuckles.
And the science below the surface. What's happening hydrologically? What does that iron really do?
The discs, they're not just symbols. Iron conducts vibration. Lay enough of it down and the ground hums with every thunderstorm, every footstep. They drove those discs deep to connect hidden aquifers, forced the springs to talk to each other by resonance.
So is that setting a big musical instrument under the earth, where if one part moves, the rest kind of vibrate too?
You nailed it. The water they poured, mingled from all sides, created a network. And their words, not just prayer, each syllable was code, like a password locking the system. It wasn't just magic words. It was a pattern the land could recognize and respond to.
And that final act, the sacrifice?
Abigail pressed her palm to the spring, sang the last line. The water swelled, then swallowed her hand, her sleeve, her hull. And in the morning, the spring burst open, roaring so loud the sheriff 2 valleys overheard it. Folks found new springs up and down the hills within days. The whole place blossomed, but people kept their distance, never built too close, never stopped listening. They knew what the cost was.
So every well was like carrying part of Abigail, and these humming iron discs and the pressure of the water, that's what kept the thing pinned down?
Exactly. Each well, each trickle, a piece of the lock. As long as the water's moving, as long as there's pressure, the Sha'lanu can't unco.
It's like so many stories. Tiamat's body made rivers and oceans, the world serpent circling Midgard. But here, what's beautiful is how the ritual actually changed the land. Not just myth, real geology, real water work.
Folk wisdom's always practical, you know. Even the stories that sound fanciful help keep your children and your cattle alive.
So now that Meta's drying all the water out, there's no network left? No, like, tension keeping the lock closed?
That's it. Every gallon these pipes take weakens the ring. The iron starts to rattle, and the dreams creep out to find new voices.
Listeners, this isn't just old stories. This is the dam straining, calling for someone to remember what was paid in blood and song.
Okay. This is definitely not just a bad plumbing episode.
It's striking. Dragons chained under hills, Leviathan in the deep, Tiamat dissolved into rivers. But what's different here, Cleo, is how the folk story isn't just myth. It's warning, right? Law built for emergencies.
Exactly, Sugar. You don't tell a story in Georgia just for comfort. Mrs. Hopkins up Carter's Lane, her well went slick last Tuesday, smelled like burned wires. Her cat still won't sleep in the house. Old signs come back first. Muted water, frogs huddling in corners, and this heavy, metallic air, like a thunderstorm waiting, even with the sky clear as glass.
That's, terrifying. So, like, it's not just, spooky feelings, it's your whole world going sideways, right? And for people living there, this isn't just bedtime stories.
No, it's waking life. The ring breaks slow at first, pipes bang at night, like something's trying the locks. If you hear 3 knocks at your kitchen drain, that's the land warning you twice before it doesn't.
I honestly? Cleo, that sounds like something out of a global phenomena database. The same pressure, fear, sudden animal panic you see with earthquake predictors. Or, dragons in the old sagas.
So if I lived there now, I'd, pee my pants? Kidding, but not really. I'd be terrified. What should people even look for besides, frogs on the porch?
Don't panic and run. Listen, odors that don't fit the weather, animals acting wrong, water running red or sticky, sudden storms out of a blank sky. And if dreams turn ugly and restless, don't just brush them off. Your own body knows when a balance is broken.
Those dreams, are those always snakes or something else?
Sometimes muddy eyes, sometimes I see a shadow coiling around the rafters, just on the edge of sleep. That's how I first knew trouble was starting again. But the old stories are warnings, yes, but also blueprints for fixing things, as long as someone's paying attention.
It's so much scarier and also kind of more hopeful than, just fixing pipes. You mean there's still a way back if people act?
Always a way if folks listen. Sometimes the land only yells, so those willing to hear will answer back.
So, the ring's failing, and what comes next isn't just thirst.
After the break, Cleo tells us what happens if the Sha'lanu wakes and what it would take to seal the serpents once and for all. Also, I am double locking my drains tonight. Okay, Cleo. So, I get chills just thinking about it, but you're saying Meta's not just taking water? Every time they cool their computers, it's like drain part of an actual supernatural lock holding something dangerous down?
That's exactly it, sweetheart. Every gallon that runs through those pipes is one less stitch in the tapestry that's kept Newton County safe for a century. This isn't just dry season. It's the slow unwinding of a pact written in sweat, song, and yes, blood.
And the warning's not abstract either. You said in the break, Cleo, that animals and water itself are changing, even miles out.
Just this week, my cousin's place, pipes rattled like drums. She found the creek, glowing faint blue at midnight, smelled copper in the soil. Her daughter started dreaming about a coil under her bed, whispering her name. That's not a faulty compressor. That's history, waking up.
So, for everyone living through this isn't just fix the well and you're fine, right? Like, what's actually at risk if nobody listens, if the water keeps dropping?
When the last spring goes quiet, something else gets loud, underfoot and in the mind. Maybe not a serpent clawing up Main Street, but people get sick, crops rot, storms come out of a blue sky. You'll see shadows in the corners and hear a language in the pipes you do not want to understand. And the fear, that's the ground's way of screaming for help.
It's not just Newton County either. These data centers, this hunger for water, are in dozens of towns, tapping aquifers that might have more than just H2O holding the world together. These pacts might not be so rare.
So, what does someone do? Is there any real chance to fix things? Or is it already too late, like for locals or anybody with a ring they didn't know existed?
What does repairing the ring look like modern day? Can a community, could we actually heal a wound like this?
You can't do it alone. It takes everyone. Officials, neighbors, outsiders, to pour water back, respect what's lost, and pull together very old wisdom with new science. Plant new springs, map the old ones. Even a group holding vigil with music and stories buys time. The point is, listen. When you act with intention, the land sometimes meets you halfway.
So, like, if Meta listens, if the county listens, if we listen, maybe the dream goes back to sleep?
That's the plan. The song's not over till the water runs clear.
That's a blueprint for everyone, whatever's beneath your feet.
Don't go anywhere. One last round. What happens next, and what would it really take to keep the sleeper sleeping?
You want to know what it looks like, Skye? My neighbor Rosie lives 2 miles from the meta site. Last week, her boy, Jeremiah, woke screaming. Said the bed shook, like there was a tail thumping under the floor. Pipes in half the houses on the road knocked 3 times that night, like someone asking to come in. Next morning, the oldest spring on their acreage, bone dry for a decade, started trickling again. Water brown as rust, tasted like pennies and thunder.
That's more intense than I was ready for. I'm honestly picturing my own apartment in LA and like, what if the pipes here started knocking? Maybe we're just as much at risk, we just never notice.
Even in the city, I think about London. Half the streets were built on sacred wells, rumored lays running under city blocks. Maybe every place with old stories has got its own kind of ring, waiting for someone to remember or break it without even realizing.
So it's like, not just Newton County? It could be anywhere a company or city forgets there's more to what's underground than pipes and profit?
That's right. You break a pattern the land's trusted for centuries and something cracks. First in dreams, then if you're not careful in daylight. But what the wardens did 100 years ago, folks could do again. I've seen revival circles where every faith prayed for rain, conservationists mapping lost springs, neighbors trading water and songs till the wells came back sweeter than before.
What should someone actually do, Cleo, if they want to start repairing the pattern? Right now, tonight.
Tonight, pour out a clean glass of water for your land and thank it. Call your neighbors, organize a gathering, dance, sing over the wells, even if it feels silly. Hunt for the lost springs on old county maps. Pressure city government to remember the oldest flow paths before laying a pipeline. It all counts. Science is part of the ring now, too. We know more about waters wandering than ever, so put wisdom and study side by side.
I love that. If you're a Spiral listener in like Texas or Dublin or Brazil, maybe your home sits on a sleeping dream too, and maybe waking it can be a warning or a blessing if you meet it with care.
Let's raise an invisible glass to waters known and unknown, and the old bargains. May we remember them before the land shouts.
So, wherever you are, take a moment tonight, listen close to your pipes, pour some water out for your place, and hey, maybe even dream a good dream on behalf of Newton County. Okay, so is it normal I want to go tap every pipe in my apartment right now? No ghosts here, yet.
Can I get some ASMR of LA plumbing Maybe you'll summon something friendlier than the Sha'lanu.
If anything crawls out, you're on video call duty, Reece. I'm not facing a water serpent in my pajamas.
That's the only way to face them, but only if you promise not to send me a cursed iron disc as a souvenir, unless you want me to have the best excuse ever for not coming to work.
Ha! As if. If you summon an ancient entity in your kitchen, I'm charging hazard rates for emotional support.
Honestly though, this one's sticking with me. I'll be thinking about those rings every time I fill a glass.
Yeah, me too. And like, Cleo, thank you. I feel, what's the word, responsible now. In a good way.
That's how it starts. If you're listening now, maybe drop a story in the comments. Your grandma's weather charm, your uncle's spring blessing, that dream you never told. Old wisdom hides everywhere.
Or tell us if you've got a haunted faucet. Seriously, we'll do an episode.
And if you find an ancient iron disc, send it to Brian. He's our guardian of the pipes and the only one who can de-haunt our audio.
Yeah, for real. Mixmaster Brian, you've got protection duty now.
Just remember, y'all, water doesn't care if you believe in spirits, but gratitude makes it sweeter every time.
Aw, that's going on my fridge.
Watch your water. Watch your dreams.
And pour a glass out for Newton County, all right? Thank you for spiraling with us. Tonight's lesson, the ring is only broken when we forget to remember together. Listen to the pipes, to your dreams, to the stories you once heard at the dinner table. Our land is full of bargains, some sacred, some still waiting to be kept. A huge thank you to Dr. Cleopas Wren, mythfinder, hydrologist, and the one who reminded us that water always remembers, even if we don't. Cleo, you gave us a reason to look a little closer at every puddle and well.
You're welcome, Skye. Remember to pour a bit for your place, wherever you are.
Do it with us tonight. Finish this episode, pour a glass of water on your porch or windowsill, and thank the ground beneath you. Snap a photo or DM your ritual or a family water story. Let's build a new ring together, around the world.
If your pipes start humming, you know who to call. Or just tag us and Brian. We'll bring the incense and the soundboard.
Especially you, Reece. You promised emotional support over video, if a serpent ever slithers out.
Only for you, Skye. And if I find an iron disc here in London, you're the first to know.
Next week, we're trading springs for steel. Is the world's oldest railway really built over a ley line? And why do Victorian train stations collect so many ghosts? Tune in for hidden maps, secret tunnels, and maybe a haunted conductor or two. If you know a legend or you felt a strange chill near the rails, our inbox is open. Big love to Brian, our audio guardian and secret ley line keeper. He's why you hear dreams and not hisses.
Guard your wells, tend your stories.
And pour a glass for Newton County, would you? I'm starting mine right now.